Have you ever been victimized by New Age spirituality?
We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting.
You're going to want to listen up.
I'm Megan, an intuitive life coach and Reiki master.
I'm Ryan, a professional astrologer, and we want to show you what spirituality is by talking about what it is not.
Con artist.
Yes.
Snake oil salesman.
There are so many susceptible people out there.
And then they're tainted. They're ruined. They don't want to come back to spirituality.
We still have a lot to learn, and we will humble ourselves and learn, I think, every freaking day. This is Clairanoyance,
a podcast of spiritual interference. Everyone is crazy. Everyone is crazy.
Batshit bonkers. Like, literally.
We're going to talk about the reason why we started this bad boy. I was in Vegas. Ryan sent me a TikTok. I said, holy guacamole, what is that? And then we watched this disaster go down on TikTok. And this disaster is kind of why one of the reasons why we started this podcast. And so
no, I didn't think it would really go this far, to be honest. I didn't think we'd have to deal with this.
It's just so the implications, how this went down. It is so wild.
We were on it early. There was nothing else outside of her video. Like,
because of you. Yeah, you had the foresight.
I don't know why my algorithm decided to feed me that. Well, right on target though.
Mm-hmm. You know, normally I try and like spare people's names. I'm not gonna do that. So this girl, her TikTok handler, she goes by Keisha the Mystic. She's a beautiful, physically beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. Appears very sweet, and she decided she made a 3-point series, attacking another creator, and saying that that there was spiritual harassment going on in the ethers. Okay, that he was telepathically harassing her. And, so she talks about it in the first one. And then in video number 2, she drops the fella's name. And I was like, oh, no, boo. Did you? The ethers, you're now dropping real names, people. Like,
okay. Oh. Well, I know. Well, okay. But even up until the point she dropped the guy's name, everything sounded like this was a real life thing. And you see this all the time, like that 2 people met on TikTok, they met up in person, and then one of the creators turns out to be a douchebag who like sexually harasses the other one or something. Mm-hmm. So this whole time I'm thinking, even up until the point that she drops his name, I'm thinking they met up in person and she's about to like drop this dude's name and blow him out the water now,
Mm-hmm. And then like, yeah, where like here's the proof. And that did not happen because they had only interacted twice. She had seen him on TikTok. She was like, oh, I've got a vibe. She's like hypnotized by his music and his vibe. He's a very good looking fella, right? And he's using that, And so she believes on her own accord that this is her twin flame. Mm-hmm. And if you know how Ryan and I feel about this. And so she books 2 sessions with him. That's the only interaction they ever had. And then another interaction where she had sent him a text, but that's later. 2 sessions. And by
the first session, she already believes that he knows who she is and that their souls are linked. Like she believes it.
Correct. She doesn't bring this up in their session, no. But she believes that, they're communicating, they are in her mind dating. Now, this is prime spiritual psychosis, people. Mm-hmm. As an energy healer, I have heard and witnessed, not personally, but I've seen some things. Okay. I've heard of some interesting exchanges, and I always try to have like a open perspective, because for all we know, we could be a human ant farm in an alien kid's bedroom. I don't know, like who knows what's really going on? Am I real? I think I am. So I'm always like, try to see other people's perspective. And I have had colleagues who say that they were in a relationship with, someone in a different dimension, but that's where it ended. And then that person never materialized in Earth. and they broke up,
Mm-hmm.
So I was, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm sorry for your breakup. And then, they dated humans that were actually here. So I've heard of these things, and I was a baby healer at the time, and it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna mind my P's and Q's because I don't.
Dating IRL is hard enough. Why do we need to do it with someone who's not physically in existence? Like, this is where shit goes too far.
I've had other people say that we joked around and called it ghost sex, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like what? Like, and this was a girl. I'm like, were you like you felt like air was penetrating you and thrusting in what?
Yeah.
I don't now. Once again, this has not been my experience. I will say that with the person who thought that they were dating, or that they were dating someone in another dimension, her teachers constantly told her that this individual would come back
Okay.
into form and kept her in a cycle, which fucking pisses me off more than you can ever imagine. Because that's full trust right there. That's why you guys got to be careful with who you let work on you. Your energy healer, your life coach, your therapist. What are your credentials? Because
No.
these are not dumb people, mind you. Anyone, if you're like, ha, this could never happen to me. Yes, it can. I mean, you just never know what can happen to you. Like some of you think that Donald Trump is the Messiah. So like, you can't be, making fun of people like this when you think that,
Totally. Okay, we haven't completed this,
Oh
like,
yeah.
even what even happened. Okay, so um
So
okay,
much.
so yeah, so this chick, Keisha, is like just putting out these videos. It really, and she is being like tricky, tricky, tricky. I'm sorry, like not really making it very obvious that they've only connected telepathically. She finally starts saying it, and then every time she says it, it's like it's this like fucking like whiplash for me where I'm like, wait, am I hearing you right? Am I hearing you didn't meet in person? You met telepathically. Your souls are intertwined. And she basically says that he has been sexually harassing her in the astral realm, in the ethers, in another
Mhm.
dimension. But their souls are so linked and they're twin flames and whatever. And so she messages him Instagram DMs him. He posted the screenshots.
Oh.
Um, and she's like, I need you to stop it. Like literally, like so cryptically. And he's like, what? And she's like, this is like not funny. Like this is too far. I'm like trying to actually find the screenshot to read
And
it, but
he's also has a girlfriend that he is
yeah, like
posting
5 years.
regularly on. And so she would be
And
like,
she
you know
said she
what?
knew that.
She was like, but you know what? I don't, like he would post this girlfriend and he'd be like, you know what? I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of this. Like you need to leave me alone. And then she said that when she like, put up her imaginary boundaries, that then he started getting mean and was like harassing her. Um,
And
and like
seducing her in another dimension. Like, come
ghost
on.
sex, ghost
Come
sex.
on. And that it's
What?
sexual harassment. She's calling sexual harassment on him here. Like fully and by naming him. Like
Mhm.
it's as he's calling it, he's like, this is literally like actually kind of quite literally against the law. This is defamation of character. You are ruining me, right? And mind you, by the way, she's got like 90 something thousand followers on TikTok. No small feat, I know. But he's like 400,000. Like he's way bigger than she is. Like I hate to say it, but my first instinct when all this was kind of happening with her was I was like, you fucking clout chaser. You are trying
Ah,
so hard. You really think that this guy who's got exponentially more followers than you is paying attention to you? This guy who's in a relationship is really looking at you like he wants you that bad. He doesn't even know you exist, lady. Like he literally has
And I
no
don't
idea
know
who
like
you
what
are.
the sessions were because he was talking about like because he came back, he was like, respectfully, what are you talking about? And then she said he
Hmm.
was like, we've had 2 sessions to talk about a women's retreat or something like that. His rebuttal was pretty flawless in my opinion, because
Yeah.
it was kind, it was firm, and he made valid points. He does have a case. I don't know where they are or what the laws
Oh
are,
yeah.
but like if this went in front of a judge, you are out of your damn mind. You're going to be locked in the loony bin. You are not going to be, like you
Yeah.
can't do that, dude. I
You
mean, I
can't.
can't even imagine going. I've been named in a lot of divorces lately. People, and so like I don't want to go. Like if I had to go in front of a judge and explain, like that's just an intimidating environment where you hope people believing in spirituality and the universe and God. But it was like, I have tangible evidence of like the work I do, the certifications. If I had to go and discuss this, I would still be nervous. You are going in front of, I mean, like, could you imagine going in front of a judge and being like, hello, this man's sexually, Me Too movement, this man's sexually harassing me. He's ghost fucking me in the ethers. He's traveling while I sleep. The implications of this, there's just so much to unpack here
I
because so
know.
many people were like, oh my God, girl, that happened to me too. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're talking about this. Oh my God.
Tons of people. Wait, and I know you said it's like all her followers, but it went way beyond her followers. She got a good following, but not this much. Like this obviously
Mhm.
blew up, and like plenty of people were like the same thing. And they were all the way down to everybody's a fucking pick me these days, man.
All day,
Ever
bud.
so many people were in these comments even being like, when I saw him, like I also had the same feeling about him. Like he's definitely like a demon. Like people just like saying the craziest shit. Like how this same guy apparently did it to all these random like faceless profiles too. Like what are you talking about? Everybody just wants to be a part of somebody else's trauma, and I'm so sick of it. It's like so annoying. And this lady's got trauma quite fucking clearly, and admitted in like video one she has attachment issues. She admitted it. She admitted it, and that she's already been on a twin flame journey. She knows she's got these issues. Yeah, and now she's gonna claim this immediately after saying I got problems. Now I'm gonna claim this. Like
It
it's just
makes
like
you, it's like, because it's part of you is like, this is like, are you doing, if you're doing this intentionally to then ruin this man so you can then get more followers, I mean, you're messing in a realm that you don't need to be messing with because you're going to call in and use dimension. There are dimensions. There is, she took pieces of truth and fabricated potentially, if she did that, if she took pieces of truth and fabricated a story, ooh, are you in trouble? Because there is, for every action, there is a reaction. Hello,
yeah.
science. Oh, no.
I I will in the show notes link to whatever I can, like at least
She
to like the
deleted all of
start
them.
of these. Well, but there's gonna be reposts and shit.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he at least definitely has got his rebuttals up, so you can at least go see him for sure. I'll definitely
Mhm.
link to him. But let me like read these really quick. He just posted this one like screenshot of their Instagram DM combos. So she literally after meeting with him twice, booking him twice, and
Over a
convinced
span of
that
like 6 months, too.
they're
It
connected.
was like a
Yeah,
while, too.
like as if honestly, and I hate to say this, dude, like I and I'm because I'm not backing him up either. Like I am in this particular situation. I never liked this guy. Like he was someone I almost blocked before. Like I've seen him get in other like spiritual psychosis fights, or other people are calling him out for doing like stupid, shitty, shady new age spiritual bullshit. Like honestly, I don't like this guy one fucking bit, although he's incredibly correct in this whole situation in my mind. But I
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify that in my mind. Anyway, so she messages him, "Can you please leave me alone? This harassment at this point, or this is harassment at this point, and it needs to stop." He goes, "I'm confused. I haven't talked to you in months, aside from the women's retreat stuff." And then she goes, "I'm not going to argue with you because I know you are just going to continue to gaslight me." Ugh, word of the last century.
Fuck
"You are
off.
contacting me telepathically, and you have been for the last 6 months, even though I've repeatedly asked you to stop. I'm asking you to stop in the 3D now. It's negatively impacting my mental health and well-being. Please stop." He goes, "Respectfully, I never think of you. I thought of you when we worked together, but always in a sister way. But when we got off the calls, I did not continue thoughts. I do not have dreams of you. I do not ponder you or entertain any thoughts towards you ever. I don't know what you are experiencing, but I have nothing to do with this in any way. I am in a committed relationship for 5 years, and I have always been faithful. With that being said, I hope you are doing well. I believe you are powerful enough to get through like whatever this is." And that's it. That's it. Those are the messages. She literally and in those messages to him, she just said, like, "Stop harassing me. You're telepathically contacting me, blah, blah, blah." And then she jumps on TikTok when she doesn't get the response she wants there. She jumps on TikTok and says, "Oh, now it's sexual harassment. Sexual harassment specifically." What? Excuse me, what? What? I mean, like, truly, why? And
And
like,
then he blocked her too. So, but he made a valid point. Like everything that she's accusing him of doing in the ethers, she's doing in real life. Like
yeah, you
you are real
must.
life harassing him.
Yeah, yes, you must be. And
And
it's
now
like,
you've sent your followers after,
yeah,
like you, when you have a platform, there's a responsibility there.
yeah. And it's so interesting. Like, there's so much I want to say about this. Like, I've seen other creators. I was so close, dude. I knew that we were going to talk about this, but like, I was so close to posting something on TikTok, like just going in on this. The reason I didn't, I'm glad I didn't. I probably would have literally been like the first one to say something, but now I've seen like a handful of other videos, and it's crazy. Like a lot of people are, being incredibly kind. They're very, very nice and like talking about her, like she obviously needs some level of help, and like she's experiencing spiritual
Yes.
psychosis. She clearly does. Meanwhile, everybody, while she's posting these videos and she's done a couple follow-ups too, like since he's responded. And again, I don't know if they're down or up or whatever, but in between her videos unfolding this spiritual sexual harassment, she she's posting all these other energetic videos where she's like, here's the
I have a
energetic reading today.
message.
Yes,
A
and
message
then
from the Oracle.
yeah, and the only caption is private sessions available for booking now. But who in their right mind is booking this girl? I'm sorry, she is in no position to be a guide, a teacher, and anything for anybody when she is dealing with something like this. She's clearly lacking boundaries. She has very little spiritual development if she's letting anything like this impact her. If energetically you think somebody can do that to you, what could they possibly do in real life? Like how little boundaries and like self-worth do you have in real fucking life to think that something like that could possibly be happening? She's clearly not fit to be a guide for anybody. How she amassed almost 100,000 followers, I don't got a goddamn clue. I even looked at her page, man. Like, I mean, I'm serious. Like, I'm trying not to like be too far outside the zone here, but like, I just like you look at her entire Instagram feed, and the whole thing is her with her hand on her heart. Like, you pick like like a kind of like still image for the cover of your
Uh-huh. Yeah,
TikToks,
your
right?
videos.
I'm just telling
Yes.
everyone for anybody who doesn't know, I guess. So you can scroll through her feed and just kind of like see the thumbnail of the video, and everyone is like her hand on her heart, and she's just smiling. But I can see through the smile, it's so not real. Like this is a broken girl. She is not happy. It's like one of those like fake spirituality things where we wear it like as if this is going to fix me one day, but you're not actually in that flow. You're like trying to be, but you can tell she's not really this person. It's like her smile looks so fake. Like it just doesn't feel real to me. I'm sorry. I just have to say it. I just and I don't feel bad saying it. Like I want to feel bad saying that because I want to be like I'm not judging her outside of this whole situation, but I can't not judge her outside of this whole situation because she's made these videos in between these sexual harassment videos about booking her. Like,
Well,
so
she
she's
started to see
clearly
that she
using
started to get
this.
that, those views started to go up. She started getting
Yeah.
people, so I mean, so she was like, well, I'm gonna capital, and that's exactly what I'm gonna, like
Yeah.
he's taken so much from me. Why would I not capitalize on this?
And
This situation. I
yeah.
deserve it. I'm in the right.
Yeah. And it's funny because even before I saw that she was posting those videos as well, like I really wouldn't have assumed she was. Like I'd assume if you're going with this, you're not posting other content right now too, if you're really gonna be like gunning for this. But the first thought I had was this is a clout chasing experiment or something. Like this girl has no idea what she's doing, and she's going after this creator who is way bigger than her. She's expecting a response and she will get it. And then a ton of people are going to know who she is now. And that's what's happened. Like, and so I know that I mean, I really do believe it's
But
a clout thing. I don't know if in her mind she knows that that's what she's doing, but I bet anything. People are probably booking her. You look at her comments, the amount of fucking
Oh yeah,
support she has, the
for
amount
sure,
of
people. But
people.
it's more like once again though the karmic retributions for this. These are I mean broken. Once again, you got to fact check who you're working with in life. Who's your astrologer? Who's your energy healer? Who's
Hmm.
anything that you're doing with? Like
Hmm.
double check. Like
Yeah. And
oh
again, I don't like him. Again, I really don't. And for many reasons. I've seen him on this app too many times. But I feel bad.
He's a
And I
little
feel bad.
cheesy for
I
me.
feel he is
That was the first time I saw him.
so cheesy. He's so well, and I thought this amazing black
Got a little
creator
flute.
too.
He looks like he plays a little flute and like runs down by the river. And that's
No,
what
he does.
like I didn't even listen to his music. I was
Yeah.
just like, ugh.
Oh, well, his music, he like speaks like light language, or he's got like some fake made up language that he's just like making up words in his songs. It's just like glorified meditation music, but like he's got fake words. Like he just like that's it. I just and I think that like it's a way to promote your fucking music. Could you imagine if his music actually really did take off and like somebody from like a record label hit him up and was like, "We think you're the next big pop star." He would immediately sell his ass out, start singing in English, doing like pop songs. Like in 1 second, and then he would still probably like try and keep his original audience. Like, I'm infusing this with like 425 hertz, like whatever. Like it's not, I'm sorry, it's not like Arlen, it's not like the same thing.
Yeah.
Like she's got the authenticity, like the music
Mhm.
episode we just did, everybody go listen to that if you haven't. But like this guy, I don't know. I'm sure he's got like technical shit, whatever. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. But I feel bad for him because
I don't like his flute
he
music.
was, no, I don't
He's
like his
very
music.
pretty though. He's
He's,
very
he's,
pretty,
he's
and
pretty,
he
but
had a good rebuttal to this.
and he was smart, but he's probably got a team. Keisha's clearly this girl sitting in her apartment somewhere. Like he's probably got like a whole group of people behind him, like informing him on what to do. And I do feel bad because he basically was supposed to release an album, like, and not that I like his music, but this has completely
Yeah.
detracted from it. He put up like another video. I think his most recent one was basically him just saying goodbye to social media. He was like, "This is insane. Like I'm done for quite a while. Like I'm not going to come on here." And I've them people who have been
Yeah.
contacting him saying really like terrible things. Like his name has been defamed. It really has been. And that to me is the implication in a way, like where I mean a lot of people I think are supporting him and they know that this chick like
Now I
needs
gotta
some serious
go listen
help.
to the dang flute music. Heck, you don't want to. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. But I
But it's
mean,
the
but
right thing to
again,
do. Go listen to this man's flute music. Take your little
yeah.
cut. Ugh.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would have wanted this, but I also know from my PR days, like truly any press is good press, and I can't imagine how many people have been exposed to this guy through this whole situation now, and now also know his music. Actually, I know somebody knows his music because I saw a video of some tarot reader saying, "I can't believe I never knew who Finnegan was until this whole controversy, but
Oh,
I love his music now," and she played his music. I can't believe it. I just did one black creator who I loved, like, and she was kind of standing up for him. I think just circumstantially, but because she had said she's like, he's not really like my thing, like he's like on that white boy shit where he's like just dancing in public in parks like barefoot and just like doing like crazy shit. That white boy shit. And I was like, yeah, girl, that's exactly what it is. He's that confident and comfortable. Could you imagine a black man just in the middle of a park in public, just like dancing with his shoes off and like being as crazy as this weirdo wild
they
child?
don't
No
have.
offense.
I mean,
I know you love the name wild child, but this guy literally thinks he's like a
yeah.
wild child. You know what I mean? And he's not. Like and like a black man could never
Don't
do
take
what
my
this
name.
guy's doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy is a cultural appropriator. He's just not good. I don't
I was
really
about to say the
care.
thing is that you would hope that a black man could do that, but in today's, who knows? It'd be like, oh my god, like you know,
Mhm.
yeah, you. I mean, there's a lot of privilege. That's all.
There's
I
a
don't have.
lot of
There's a lot of
privilege.
privilege, and
Well,
also to note, Keisha is a beautiful
Is a
black
black, I was
woman.
just gonna say it. Beautiful
Yeah.
black woman, which makes it even sadder to me because I'm like, how did he have you under the spell? Which, by the way, she also said that he was doing spell work, that he's doing glamour magic. In his video, he was like, we don't even know what glamour magic is. And
And
I
it's
believe
funny.
him.
I saw a rebuttal from I think it's the Glamour Witch on TikTok, who is another beautiful black woman who was like, I can't believe she was like, if you're following me, I hope to God that you are. This is wrong. Like the
Yeah.
implications of this is dangerous. And she said something about Saturn and Pisces and how this is, something,
Yeah. I've seen
on
people talk
par.
about
But
it
she was
is.
like, she was like, because that's the thing, the danger, like, so if think about how many unhinged emotional individuals are out there. You get mad at me or you get mad at Ryan or whoever, and then you see this, well, oh, Keisha the Mystic ended up okay. Let me attack. I can say this. No, you can't.
Hmm. And
No, you can't.
and I feel like it's probably already happening. I bet somebody else already felt empowered, like some random no-name person probably already felt empowered by this whole thing and made another video, and we're just not seeing it yet. Like
All
I
day.
Like it's
I hope you stay at 6 views
yeah,
because you
it's
can't, your feelings get hurt because you're not getting attention. You need to deal with that. Y'all need to deal with your inadequacies, your insecurities, and your limited belief systems before you go and barf up and ruin other people's lives. It's so fucking irresponsible and
that's
dumb. And
yes,
if you
because
fuck with these people, you're a moron. You are a fucking moron. I'm
moron.
so sorry. Like, why would you want a it's okay to go through life and have your trials and tribulations. Case in point, you remember a few podcasts ago when you were like, I don't like to share my, what I'm going through.
Hmm.
Boy, this should give you carte blanche. Listen, this is
Right.
what I'm going through, but this is how I got through it. It's when you take that accountability and that responsibility. There's no responsibility. She deleted those
Yeah.
videos. There's no responsibility. And while
Which is pointless because they're out
I don't
there.
want
Other
her,
people
I kind of feel like something there needs to be. I mean, I think she probably got scared when she realized there
oh,
were legal implications, but she kind
yeah,
of does
he
need to get a
threatened
slap
her.
on the wrist. She needs to
No,
get like
I forgot about that.
you need to know that there are implications.
Hmm.
There are consequences to your actions, and I
Yeah.
kind of think that this is dangerous. If you're in energy, if you're in
No,
any space, this is dangerous.
because also what was she looking for ultimately? Did she I bet if there was some legal argument on her side and that came out, like she would have taken him to court. She would have gotten money or whatever out of
All
him.
day,
Now he's the one that's able to do it. Quite
all
literally, he's
day.
totally able to sue this bitch for what she's done. I'm so sorry to say it, but this is like true. I'm sorry. I'm like so heated by this whole thing because like normally implications when I think of that word I do think of it like legally like these are the implications of something legally he's got the argument on his side but really what the implications in my mind are just like the normalization of spiritual psychosis here like the absolute ungrounded reality that these people are all living in which is like a bu- I I was shocked when I saw what was actually happening through her videos. What really, 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 really shocked me was the thousands of comments that she has that people just supporting her, saying that they've experienced the same thing, that psychic attacks are real. And you know what? I'm not even discounting the nature of a psychic attack. Do I ever think I've experienced one? No. Nope, never once. And all I can say about that is if you think you are being psychically attacked, that's on you, homie. Nobody is in your physical space attacking you, quite
You
literally
know what?
attacking you. You need boundaries. You need
You know what
boundaries.
that reminded me because one time, a service provider that I use for one of my beauty services, we discontinued our trade, and she would always get very upset with people and randomly block them and say that they were like spiritually attacking her, sending her bad vibes. And one
Hmm.
day I was like, damn, I haven't seen this girl like watch my stories in a while. Let me go. And I was like, I was blocked. She's still following you hilariously. But
Oh,
she was, yeah. So I was like, okay. So I met, like I messaged her and I was like, hey, like, are we cool? Like, never. I was like, I'm sending people. I sent her a ton of clients for this service that she does because she did a great job. Never responded. She tells one of my most straight laced Christian, this late, I mean, like, Kayla was so uncomfortable even saying anything to me about it. And she was like, she says that you're spiritually said you're like you're attacking her, and I was like, what? And she was like, she said she can never talk to you again because she says it's the most Christian. I mean, this person like Kayla is a like I'm talking like and said that I was like I said, well, I hope that you know that I'm that like what
I
she
know.
was like I didn't understand what she was saying, and I was like there's something going on there,
Who's got the
like
time to seriously sit there and concentrate all that negative energy on someone? Can you really believe that? No, I'm sorry. I
especially
know that
we
it,
were friends. I'm still on her business page. She's talking about how I'm one of the most interesting people she's ever met. If you scroll back a few years, but it was like, I am not, that's my job is to make people a better version of themselves. That's why
yeah,
God put me here. I am
yeah,
not. And so it was like, you know what? I'm not, anybody who knows me knows that's a crock of shit. And also, I hate to say it, but like when you look at the people that are saying this thing, chances are they habitually have very problematic issues with their life. They're constantly cutting people off. They're
mm-hmm,
always the victim.
mm-hmm,
It's a big red flag to me if you were always the victim in every goddamn circumstance that you are in. But
yeah,
that reminded me, and I've never been, like if you're getting spiritually attacked, God God, get some of them protection.
Well,
Like Sage, call an Archangel Michael, do some things.
and I mean, you really got to look at, especially if it's coming from a person who works in the spiritual space, it's so easy to sit there and think like, well, they've got the wherewithal to be able to psychically attack someone. No, I, I'm sorry. I would very much venture to say that people working in this space, Finnegan, by the way, included in this, like that man is a busy, busy man. I will spend the amount of energy on thinking about someone that I'm literally spending with them in a reading. After that, I am my time is mine. I will not be thinking about you anymore. I am so
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I need to detach. Nobody who is working in this space is spending their fucking free time psychically attacking anybody. Nobody. You pay me to give energy into you, and that's it. And that's it. Like I'm not gonna be psychically thinking anything except good thoughts of other people. Quite literally, I don't sit there and have these resentful thoughts. And I think if you're really thinking that somebody's psychically attacking you, I bet anything, because I do believe in like some level of energetics here, right? In the
Yeah.
niche manifestations episode, we talked about it a little bit, like not intruding on someone else's energy field or whatever. But I feel like if you're feeling psychically attacked, I bet anything, if you're really that tapped in that you're feeling that, what you're probably feeling is the person not caring about you, that connection being cut off and you being now like restricted, and your own tension in you hating that you're not connected to them anymore, and you're taking it as a psychic attack when really you got boundary and attachment issues. That's it.
I also wonder, it's like, okay, another pivot that this could be is like, okay, maybe you are getting attacked, but like,
Mm,
what were you practicing?
mhm.
Like, were
To open
you,
yourself up to that.
what were you practicing? Like, because there are certain things where it's like, I think it's a hoodoo, like I'm not black, so I wouldn't be practicing that. And if you try and practice that, there are certain cultural. So did you do something? Did you call in like what was like a Hecate or something like that?
Yeah.
Like are you being attacked by something from a realm because of the spiritual practices that you did? You didn't follow the protocol. I mean, like there are protocols. If you're going to do spells, if you're going to work on things, like, and
Yeah.
I don't do spells. So this is, like, I don't
Mm-mm.
know, but I have some rituals that I do. Like I said, but I know that there's a protocol. I know that there's like that you should lock your mirrors. I know that there are symbols, and just like in Reiki, there are things that you do.
Hmm.
So, did you open yourself up to something in that dimension, that area? Did you try and harness some? I don't, like people are really messing around with hell and demons, and the thing, demons don't play by fair rules. They don't have
Mm-mm.
to.
Mm-mm.
Like is I that was another thought. It was like, okay, say you are getting attacked, and then they
Yeah.
put that projection because you found this man attractive, and there are
Hmm.
just so many different ways that this could, and I don't think we'll ever hear because she's probably scared of legal implications, you know.
Well, I mean, I think there's yeah, I bet she is. And I more credit to him also though. He did comment. I think that's probably why she took her videos down, because he commented and was like, please remove these now. I don't want to take legal action. I will though. And then I've seen reposts of her video and he's commenting the same thing on the reposts too. I don't
Oh
know if he thought it was her or something on the reposts, but he's like, I'm
no, he's
asking
trying to nip
again,
that
please
in the
take this shit
bud
down. Yeah,
altogether.
yeah, understandably on his end. I mean, like, unfortunately, of course, my PR brain always works. Like, how do you spin a negative into a positive? Always. The good. She got an opportunity now. I'm not gonna lie. She has an opportunity to sit here, like, to receive help from someone. She must, and then own it and say, like, whoa, this wild thing that I went through, and here's like to if she grows through this and truly actually steps into like some level of a like good spiritual practice or whatever, she could that could be a really interesting journey that brings her to a much better space, and people could have a lot of respect for her. But that is like right now it's just in that cringe space. And I don't the doubling down and the amount of support she continues to get, there's
But that's
nobody
in
in
it.
her life.
She's gotten power behind it. So then you make
Hmm.
a statement like that. It's controversial. She, like whether she intentionally framed it or not, she's like, this is scary. Like it's riding off of the collective movements that have been happening over the past few years.
Hmm.
And you got power, and power and money show who they just show who you already are. If you're a good
Yeah.
person, it's gonna, but
And and it's
it's
another like I was like it an implication of it is like even just like the umbrella over just like the sexual harassment claim in the ethers, where it's like the like it's a form of spiritual bypassing. I really believe that in a sense where like you if you want to shift the energy, you need to do something different in the physical world. So clearly, like if your physical existence is so unfulfilled, if your self-worth is so low or whatever, to the
go for
ease
a
to
walk.
just throw
Go for
it,
a walk.
yeah, to just start blaming it on the energy in another dimension is to remove the physical self from
But also,
anything
if
that's
she's
you could fix
sick,
in your life.
if she like she's that's the thing, is that like she's got this viewpoint. She probably researched it. That's why I always tell, like, you can
I don't,
find
but I
anything
don't,
to support your stances
yeah,
on things.
but I'm not gonna lie, like her language because I went through a few of her videos, it's so like elementary 101 where I'm like, you just found spirituality through like a yoga class last year, didn't you? Like you don't know what you're talking about. And then
Yeah,
her bio even
okay.
is like, I energetically guide like leaders or executives or some shit. Like crazy. She's like talking about leaders in the new earth. New earth, number one. Like, hello, red flag. Nobody talk about the new earth. There's one fucking earth. There always has been, there always will be. That's it. Like, there's no new earth. Okay, like this is the bad language that like is slipping people into spiritual psychosis. Do you know who had a wild field day on this? And it was actually really interesting to watch. Who also has had a comeback. We should talk about her eventually. But like Allie, Allie starts a cult. Allie, she's had like actually a wild comeback because all this crazy. Remember when she was like going pretty
Yeah,
wild?
she was kind of
She admits
canceled.
it.
Yeah, she was.
Well,
She
but
was.
the cancellation was like all fake. Like she's now got like hella lawyered up. Like all this millionaire chick from Canada stole her identity and stole her TikTok accounts, like trademarked all of her names. And so now Allie's fighting it in court, basically. Like, but this lady, like, rightfully took over Allie's content. I'm dead serious. It was the
What?
craziest thing. Yeah. Crazy thing. So we'll talk about that later. And I really want to get Allie on at some point because Allie has come to a much more sane space, to be honest, where she's like,
I
I'm
actually
careful
blocked
with how
her
I
because she
talk.
was
No,
like how
that's fine.
she was. Yeah, she was
Yeah.
talking so
No,
crazy
it was bad,
that
but
I
she
was like,
was, but to
I
hear
don't.
the other side, like know
Yeah,
what was going on, and these people who did it to her had a podcast, and they told the whole story of what they did to her on the podcast. So that's what became legally incriminating. Basically, she's like, "Why you all just told your plan, and now I can legally
that
sue you."
is.
It is really the craziest thing. The spiritual community is fucking nuts in general. That's a whole different story, and nobody's gonna
Oh,
understand the context of that, I guess.
yeah.
But
Well, you will.
but she had a field day talking about this because she got in a big fight with Finnegan once on TikTok, and they went back and forth for a while. And so she had like a really, really beautiful take on this whole thing, honestly, because
Interesting.
yeah, I just think like the spiritual psychosis, like this is the definition of like how bad spirituality can
You
get
gotta
when it's
have.
unchecked. You
Yes.
don't have a good mentor, you don't know what you're talking about, and then you try to assume some sort of
Yes.
position of leadership or voice in this space, and you don't have boundaries. You're having all clearly her physical life is not treating her so well right now if she's got to project it all into like some sort of astral sexual harassment. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And to think that what it takes away from people going through it in the physical. Are you kidding? To make this a big deal,
Yeah.
like Jesus Christ, the amount of things going on in this world right now, I couldn't believe that. Like, I'm just like the amount of women who got what is the number now
What if
that of like
somebody
women
like? I
getting
mean,
raped every day? How,
well, and that's saying like astral, like say. I mean, I just don't know how you could, if people start making claims about, and I shouldn't have said loony bin last time, or earlier, but like
whatever.
you make a claim like astral rape, you are going straight to the mental institution. You're
Yeah.
going straight to get your head
No, it's
examined,
not
bud.
okay. It's not okay. And I wouldn't even venture, I'm not even saying this shit doesn't exist or whatever. I'm really not even saying that, but I am saying why choose to open yourself up to that kind of thing? Like why? There's no benefit to it. There's no benefit. So like play
But
with
they
energy.
think, but the thing is that they probably think they think that in their mind, in their perspective. They're helping other people. If I'm going through it,
Well,
other people are going through it.
yeah.
This is
She
not.
she gonna have a whole business model now on how to stop psychic attacks or something. Like seriously, all these and it's like these are things we don't need. Like we don't need this. And you can I fully believe I've never experienced a psychic attack, and I think that that's because I'm never gonna let anybody attack me in real life. I will
Well, and
attack
that's the
back.
thing.
Like I
You have the power. Like my house, like, I had one client who she was a medium, and she was like, she said that she made her house like not only good, like no energy. Nothing could come in there. It was just her
uh
energy. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that. And so it was like,
yeah.
because a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's just good energy. She was
Well,
like, no one, like, I don't want to hear a peep when I'm
yeah.
in my house. And she set that intention, and that's how her house was.
Hmm.
So, and that's how powerful your thoughts and the brain throughout all this is,
No, it's
because
true. Do you no
it's
and
just so much.
I really do believe in that stuff. I used to actually sage pretty regularly, and I haven't in a while. Um, and I
I
used
know I
to
need to
say the
follow
same
Sandra.
thing, like none of these like negative entities or whatever can come in here. I remember specifically too, like I really don't fuck with like spell work, but I do remember very specifically doing I guess you could call it a spell. It was mainly more of like an enhanced saging of my apartment, but it was right at the start of COVID when nobody knew what was going on. And it was terrifying. And they were talking about like the numbers were coming out of like how easily this spreads through air and shit. And
Mhm.
I remember doing this, like I lit a blue candle, I think, because it was like blue stood for health or something. And I think I literally carved like a nail into this little candle, like the word health. And then I lit that candle, saged like every little corner of my apartment and was like the only like healthy entities exist here. There's no like illness, there's no sickness,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist here. And since then, I had a ton of roommates. It was like a revolving door apartment during the pandemic, which was even more terrifying for me. Not a damn person ever got sick. Not one person.
Wow.
None of my roommates have had COVID. So like I'm not, I know
Yeah.
that that can sound awful, but it's like I do believe in like an energetic like blocking of things like this. Like
I
especially
say I'm exposed to COVID all the time, and I've never tested positive. How
yeah.
crazy is when Josh was like super sick?
Yeah, you
Point,
lived with
like
yeah.
I was like, I mean, he's like literally at one point. I mean, I was like, oh, we're going to the hospital. Like this was the summer of
Hmm.
2021, because I remember texting you like it is, and I was totally fine. I mean, like I was a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
I tested. I was like hugging this girl who had gotten COVID.
But
Like
again, it's like I think
never
that's like speaks to your protective abilities and your ability to like know
correct.
yourself. And like that's it when like you're gonna open yourself up to it, any form of any negative entity, a psychic attack, a demon, a whatever you want to, anything. If you are weak in yourself. And like I know it's not easy. Like we have weak moments, like it's incredibly difficult for sure sometimes. But like the best practice you could possibly do, quite frankly, isn't even spiritual. It's going to be in the mundane physical world to like protect yourself, to stand up for yourself more, to like to say positive affirmations to yourself, whatever it needs to be.
I
But
am
like you need to
healthy.
be
Yeah.
moving in the physical world. Yeah, just like I saged the apartment and fully, I channeled spiritual intent, I guess, into like the health of that. But I physically moved around with intention and saged and did things in the physical. So like any level of a practice that you can do or that like Keisha here can do to like em- make herself feel more empowered, in her daily life so that she's not susceptible to what she believes is a psychic attack or a spiritual attack, which clearly wasn't even the case, but that's delusion and whatever. I
Well, and even
I
with like voodoo, I remember I was watching like this was years ago, like First 48, and it was in Louisiana. And this there was a something happened in, with a voodoo priestess, and this lady had cursed this police officer, and he was, and they were like, don't, if you don't give it power, it won't. But he was so scared of it that he was giving this power. And so it was very interesting to watch, because then he was so scared, because it was a legit voodoo priestess who had, he had ticked off, and then bad things started happening to him. And so it's like, so he was like, no, you don't understand. You can be scared, but you still have to command your personal power and say, no, that does not affect me. No, like, like I am safe, like I am calm. It's just this, this is any asshole can start a TikTok account and grow it and say
Hmm.
some elementary stuff. And I just hope she gets the help that she needs. I don't know if that's going to happen, but the implications of anyone doing this work, if your
Hmm.
feelings are hurt, feelings aren't facts. If your
Mm-mm.
feelings get hurt, examine it and work through it. But to go and do something like this, it's alarming, man.
Hmm. I mean, like, I literally just like Googled like psychic attack quotes. So I was like, what is anybody saying about this stuff? And the first one that pops up, like, real big, is also interesting. I don't know who Lawrence Galian is,
I don't either.
whatever, but it says a psychic attack of any kind always begins with the evil person or the evil being or person looking for your Achilles heel. Interesting to me because I'm reading a book right now, called The Song of Achilles, which is a
Ooh.
beautiful fucking book. But all to me, like what sticks out there, I mean, I get, yeah, that it would be coming from some evil person if there's an actual attack spiritually going on like that. But looking for your Achilles heel, meaning you have one. And who doesn't, I guess, but that's the point is they're looking for the weak spot. And so like
They're looking,
if
yes.
even if she fully believes this, even if all of this is real, what this does to her, and this is where it's like it's a fine line between victim blaming and taking responsibility for yourself. I am not victim blaming in this situation. This is a need for responsibility of her to look at her own Achilles heel. What is my Achilles heel? What is my weak spot? How can I bolster that so I'm not so susceptible in these spaces? How can I make that stronger in me? You know what I mean? Her weakness, clearly, as she admitted from the get go, is attachment issues. She got attachment issues. She's had a twin flame issue. Like she knows which all of this is just relational problems. It's a pretty normal
Well,
Achilles
you
heel,
can't
I
have
think.
multiple twin flame issues because you only
Right.
have
Isn't that
one.
funny?
Like that's
Yeah,
like so right off the rip, bud. Like if a twin flame, oh,
I know, man. I know. Um,
it's
and
I'm curious to see how it unfolds. I like I said, I never
well,
knew these
he's off.
individuals.
He's done. You know what I mean? So he's
Do you
definitely
think
taking
that's
it
a PR
offline.
thing though? You think that's a
No,
PR thing?
no, because he actually like, and that's where I did feel bad for him. Like he was like pretty upset, saying that he's like, I do believe that this has like impacted him. I could
Oh,
actually see it like even on a spiritual end, where I don't think he, and this was Ali's kind of interesting point a little bit, but I saw his spirituality from his first response video. Like he felt like pretty, I mean, it was a great response as you saw. And then in the one where he said he was leaving, you could tell he was like pretty depleted. Like I think he was like seriously questioning some aspects of his spiritual identity at that point where he's like, this is
yeah.
crazy. Like this community is nuts. And this is the problem with this shit. This is like our intro the way it is. Like people will get fucked around in this space and then they don't want to come back to like what true spirituality is. I will testify too. Like this was like probably like the final point I wanted to make on this. I mean, we could go on forever about it. I don't care. But one of the big points for me, not even just in this, it like this would be like an Achilles heel of mine, I guess, but a little. But this has really amplified it or made me really rethink some of this shit. But that I'm totally in a spiritual lull right now. I will say that. And like in a space where
Hmm.
even there's like a resentment setting in of like, I
Ooh.
hate that I live this. I hate that I'm an astrologer. I've had conversations lately with people about it too. I don't want to do this. Like, oh my God, my life would be easier if I could go back to my old job. And I think these thoughts all the time. It's fine. But like it truly I've been able to like apply those thoughts now, not just like ponder them, but like see like very physically and how my real life would benefit if I wasn't what I'm doing right now. If this was not my job, if I didn't
Uh-huh.
have to be this like spiritual tapped in person, if I didn't care about the shit, and it does like things like this just make me I hate it. This is why people
Yeah.
think that we're crazy. This is why people like
Yeah.
don't respect what we do. Like these are
Yeah.
the stories that blow up. I'm kind of surprised it hasn't made like traditional news yet, to be honest. But how would even a journalist cover this? Like people, it's beyond what most people can even like comprehend this drama.
Yeah.
And this is such niche drama. I get it, but it also kind of blew up more than I really thought it would. So I don't know that it is that niche right now, but people are really looking at it like this is fucking nuts. Like, and this is and like this is why I'm glad that you know it's going away. And then or like people are like saying they're glad that they've left the spiritual space. Like this was a reminder to them of like why they're so glad that they
Oh.
left. And I'm like, that sucks, but I totally feel you. Like I totally get it.
Yeah.
Damn, if I had the choice, the amount of times in this past like week, 2 weeks that I would have fully been like, yep, if I was given a choice, out. Take me
Yeah.
back to when I didn't care about this, please. Because it's a
Yeah.
hard fucking space to be in. I really mean it. Like I even think just like lately was thinking about like the dating aspect of it all. I actually did an interview with someone even about some of this where it's like the amount of times I got blocked on, a dating app because I was an
Oh,
astrologer or they'd find out I was a Gemini, like the fucking hate that you get for that dumb shit, right? But then even
yeah.
like someone I know didn't say this to me, but knew I was listening. Whatever, I won't even get into the whole thing, but kind of like a Mr. Man thing. We're good. Like, don't worry. But
Yeah.
he said to someone else in front of me, but it was clearly like not looking at me, like in a very like tender, beautiful moment where everybody was just kind of like talking about relationship stuff. He was like, do you ever get like embarrassed about someone that you'd want to be with because like I feel like my friends would be embarrassed like sometimes like and I withhold myself from like coming into like union with someone because I'd be worried of like what other people think of them. And all I could think was like, damn, that was to me, wasn't it? Like that was to me, which I really believe. I think it's a hard thing for someone who's
Well, you
not
know what?
this.
Here's the thing. I no, fuck that.
No,
Because at
no,
the
no,
end,
no.
yeah.
It wasn't malice. Like the
Yeah, oh, I
way
know
he
that,
did it,
but
you can
like
tell he's trying to like come to terms with a
overcome.
lot of yeah, I think the admission of that I think was a big
I mean,
deal.
yeah, but it's just like
He's a proud
I
atheist, you know what I
applaud.
mean?
I applaud you,
No, I
Mr. Man,
do. I do. There was no
for
like
them.
there's no hatred, but it was like one of those things where it was just like a reminder of like, damn, like it's already hard out here. And living this life makes damn the field gets whittled down further. And it is just a reminder to me too, because then I was talking to somebody else about something very similar to this. And I was just like, they were like, no, like plenty of people are into astrology though, especially these days. And I was like, dude, the people that like this stuff, not my people. Like for the most part, it's weird. Most of my friends aren't in this space, and I like them because of the more well-rounded
Yeah,
nature that they have. I wish they had more of a spiritual part of them too, but a lot of people in the spiritual space that is all that they have. They are very
correct. That's
disconnected
their
from the real
identity.
world, which is like this Keisha situation. She is so not in the real world. Like, and I want to be here. Like I am here,
No,
like
you have to have one foot on earth and one foot, like I always tell, like one foot needs
yeah.
to be in reality. And then as far as, like I think, yeah, spirituality is not my identity. I can go into any space and have
Hmm.
an intelligent conversation. I was getting my hair done yesterday and somebody had asked something spiritual and I don't talk with it with my friends. If you're not spiritual, I'm not going to cram anything
Yeah.
down your throat. And she was like, I don't know, ask Meg, she'll know. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is what, blah, blah, blah. This is what's been going on. But yeah, it's interesting for you to hear you say some of these things just because like it's just like I'm like take it or fucking leave it. If you don't like what I'm saying or what I don't talk about what I do all the time, but like if this is part of who I am, get the fuck out. And then to hear
Right.
your aspect of I don't want to say struggling, but
No, but a
I'll
bit.
dial that back to when it comes to like energy and like spirituality in my life. Sometimes I'm like, yes, this is the shit. And then sometimes you do disconnect, and that's normal. And I think it's normal to question this and to be like, do I want to do this? Do I like this? Is this my purpose? Like
Hmm.
I think that's healthy. And whether it's with spirit, you should do this with every aspect of your life, your job, your relationships. So, this questioning, if you're
Hmm.
not questioning yourself in all realms of life, you need to start. So I think that
Hmm.
this is, you know, an interesting point that you bring up. But
Yeah. And I mean, for me, like, I mean, there's no removing myself from it at this point. And I knew that even in like the worst of it, where I was like, pretty much like, just get me out of this space. I'm so sick of this shit, to be honest. I'm glad that I feel that stuff because, again, it's like you're going to feel the contrast of it. And like, so then I'm like, no, I know that there's like a higher purpose or whatever of, and like even like this whole situation with Keisha, it's like I see how bad that can be. And the spiritual part of me is what actually is making me more discerning of why I know that this person is not fit to be guiding other people. And I'm glad that I can like be spiritually
have a
developed
voice.
enough to like
Yeah.
understand this stuff and want to talk about it, and that I see that that's the bad side of it, which means I see the good side of spirituality. Like I do fully, fully, fully. It's been more like I think, yeah, like definitely not making it my whole identity is actually pretty important to me. I do find when I don't talk about it with other people that they start talking about it, which is really cool because they start opening up more. Like if I'm not
Uh-huh.
pressing that conversation, it's been really cool to watch that happen. But then also I think like there's a bit of me that's like, and I never wanted to just be a reader, but like there's that part of me that's like my entrepreneurial self, which is a huge part of me and always will be, that's kicking into gear in a big way. And I'm like, I need to find a way to rightfully, not like just capitalistically, take this work and do something with it. That's why like I love the podcast. I love the calendar that I started, Bismos. Like
Yeah,
I
which is
I like
amazing.
doing these other things. I'm really like intent on I'm glad I'm doing like workshops in 2024, but I really, really, really want to fucking put out a class. I've got this fucking book I really want to write. Like I've got all these other things I want to do. It will
Yeah.
intersect with spirituality. It's inherently spiritual, these things I want to do, but I don't want to be this person. Like I don't look how easy it is for someone to look at like that story. If I were to show that to anybody not in a spiritual space, they would look at Keisha like lock her up now.
Yeah.
Like this lady
Very
is
hard.
nuts, right? I don't want to be that. I will not be that person.
Yeah.
And I feel like a way of counteracting that is to do something more normal or graspable in this space, like start a company. You know what I mean? Like start
Yeah.
this calendar, like show people how spirituality can then be applied in the real world. So that is like really where I'm at right
Yeah.
now. And that's why I know I'm still very tapped into the spiritual space because I'm intent on it like more than ever. I really am. But damn, you just have those moments of like, fuck, I wish I could not be
Well, and
associated
it's
with
like,
this
and
shit.
you know, like that's why I make that like I'm a pragmatic energy healer, like which then I
Yeah.
say is like it is an oxymoron, a jumbo shrimp. And like the very when I have to go to recertifications and there are people and part of me is like, is this me? Like when they're kumbayaing and it's like, I will not kumbaya with you. It is not in my energy. And then I'm like, okay, well, it's not in my energy because I'm a manifester. But like I can't stand that. Like it true. And these are lovely people. Like, and bless you if that's what you want to do and you want to get together and
Hmm.
kumbaya. But like, I'm here to like change your life. And
Hmm.
I do that through spirituality and through practical purposes as well.
Hmm.
So I think that it's so cool that we're lining, we kind of, you know, not kind of, but we are syncing up where it's like, I'm not gonna spout some weird shit on the internet without having my facts. I'm not gonna tell
Yeah.
you to do something if I'm not willing to do it myself. I've done it. You know, it's the responsibility, it's the accountability, and that's why people come to us. That's why we're successful in
Yeah.
this realm. But no, this spirituality chooses you, and
Hmm.
and I think the ease of access that we have to information now with TikTok and you know, Facebook, it used to have 10, 12 years ago, 13, 50, when we got in the game, it had to find you. And now people are like, oh, this is a way I can get attention. This is a way that I can get this need met. You know,
Hmm.
like I know enough to talk about a little bit and here we go. And this isn't a game, man. You know, like people's lives now are potentially reputations. It's just, you can come back from anything, but there are real implications that are happening. There are real consequences.
Yeah. And I mean this is like multi this is like the intersectionality of all bad things in the spiritual space. This whole situation, it really is like normally we'll talk about spiritual bypassing. We can talk about spiritual psychosis, whatever. But like this is everything like all at
It
once
really
on top of it.
is.
It's the worst of it. It's just it's terrible. And like I feel awful. I really do. I feel bad because I don't want to bring negative attention to this person, but I really, really vehemently hate that she is not taking any responsibility for this, that she's not backing off, that I hate that she has nobody in her life quite clearly who's kind of like going to sit her down and be like, oh, listen,
My
girl.
God. I mean, I had two, I've had, my clients and friends will come to me and they'll be like, oh, I saw this on so and so. And I tried it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's tell me about what's the practice behind it. Tell me about the history. You should know what you're doing. Just because you see someone do something on TikTok and it's like, oh, this looks fun.
Yeah.
look into it before you guys just go willy-nilly. And you should see the look on their faces. I remember, like two of my friends, they were, like they were so in sync that they were saying they were kind of reading each other's minds, so to speak. Like someone dropped a spoon, and as like she caught it before the spoon even dropped. It was a cool thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were trying to go further with it. And I was like, tell me what you know about these practices. Both of them had the dumbest looks on their faces. And I was like, did you protect yourself? Did
Mm-hmm.
you no? And guess what? Both of them had really gnarly things happen to them around this
That's
time where it was like, guys,
And that, I'm sorry, that is literally spirituality 101. And I really mean that. Like, no matter what your entry point to this world is, it's like that's one of those things you learn like at the gates before they open up, where it's like, know what you're fucking getting yourself into before you practice any
well, and
of
they
it.
got
Like,
excited. They did.
understand. You
And
have to,
they got excited. They got
and
so excited. And I was like, I get it. But like, once again, I work with a biochemist who's an energy healer who's super cool, but she will do things that I'm like, hey, do you remember when you got into your lab? You didn't just mess with anthrax.
yeah, you didn't,
Okay.
what exactly?
I was like, at all times I have to come back to you. They weren't just like, oh, you took chemistry in high school.
Yeah.
Here's anthrax. You have a PhD. You're brilliant. I
Mhm.
need you to have discernment and like common sense in your practical life, because there are things that you can do that will hurt you.
Yes. And again, also boils down to another overlapping area here of like, it's, I mean, instant gratification. We all just like want to like get in it. But like in this space specifically, there's no oversight committee, right? Like if that chemist was like playing around with anthrax on day one and had no actual certification or what, right, education or
Yeah.
anything, they'd be in trouble. Like you would have probably like a legal ramification there.
All
We don't
day.
have this. We don't have this. So it's
There's no
easier
governing
to,
body.
yeah, it's so much easier. It's like, it's awful. I don't know. You get ungrounded very, very easily. It's like rather than like
And
walking
also
up that
you're
mountain, you're taking a
you're gonna make
spaceship.
mistakes too. Like the thing is that,
Yeah.
but that's where it's like, so to the people that I've just referenced, like when I made mistakes, my mentor was like, knock it the fuck off. Like, don't do that. And I was like, oh yeah. And that's what's so dangerous about this, because people are like, well, why do I need a mentor? Why do I need someone to talk to? Why do I need a facilitator, a practitioner? I can take all these classes online. You don't have real world experience and application. That's why. And you're gonna
Hmm.
fuck people. You get with the wrong people. You're gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna fuck you
Hmm.
up. And whether it's in the ethers or the real world, it's just that's why. That's why you have mentors and teachers. That's why.
And it always starts in the real world. Always. If you're one of those like 5D people, you have to understand that that's not a new Earth. There's no moving into 5D. It's that 5D then comes here. You integrate it here. That it's
Yeah,
always the 3D, always. So you need to fix
that's such a
that.
good
Get
point.
that right. Like there's no any spiritual issue you're dealing with is first and foremost going to be symptomatic
You
of
have to
something
fix
much
it.
bigger in the 3D.
You are responsible for yourself, your actions, your
Yeah.
life. And it's okay to make mistakes, but take accountability for it. It's
Hmm.
okay, like say you're sorry. I dropped the ball. I messed up. Those are very powerful words that people
Hmm.
actually respect.
Hmm.
But, God
And it's
almighty.
like you hear this like crazy, 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 crazy stories online of like the Galactic Federation and all of these people. And like you hear these lines like spiritual warfare is real, you know? And like I want to think that like I understand what you mean in that sense that like there's like I think more of that is more just like you're saying like morality is going out the window is pretty much what you're saying when you say there's
Yeah.
spiritual warfare going on. People are losing their morals right now. That's it. But like I, that sort of stuff, it's crazy how much this has stuck with me. But like our episode with the CEO of California Psychics, when he
Hmm.
said eating spaghetti can be a spiritual experience. Like I think about that all the time. How it isn't like spirituality isn't this in the ethers thing. It is a appreciation of everything you're doing in a moment and
It's
making it
yeah.
spiritual,
It's cleaning your
right?
house. It's cleaning your
Yes.
house. It's brushing your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the mundane, and everyone wants these huge existential events. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to be this lasting, huge impact, take care of yourself first,
Yeah.
get your shit right, and then do right. Do the little things well. And then I promise you, the big things start to come.
Yeah.
But I don't, TikTok and all these platforms have made things, oh, if I do this, it's going to instantly blow up. That's a very rare phenomenon. It's very, very, very rare. It
Yeah.
is an exception to the norm. Do the small things well, treat people well, do the right thing, and good things, whether you're spiritual or not. Energy attracts energy. You'll be in a good spot. I promise.
100%, man. And I feel like it's like if if I'm not even hating on you, if you want to believe in a galactic federation, you think you're a Pleiadian, I don't care. You believe what you want to believe, man. But if you think like just spiritual warfare line, if you think that there's this spiritual warfare going on, again, that would be this like 5D spiritual energetic thing that you're talking about. And I'm not trying to diminish your belief in that or the importance of that if that's happening. But what I want to say is it literally starts in the 3D. So if there's
Yeah.
spiritual warfare going on, are you paying attention to the actual physical warfare going on right now? Are you looking at
Yeah.
the Palestinian and Israeli war? Are you at all aware of like what's going on in the Congo and thinking about that at all? Or are you spiritually bypassing and distancing yourself from it and shoving this energy of war that is very fucking real in our physical reality, and you're just
Yeah.
putting it out into the ethers where it's not tangible and you can't touch it or do much about it, to be honest. And if you want to do anything about the spiritual there in a warfare sense, do something about it in the physical. You will move energy through physical world change. Like the energy is going to shift. You won't feel that sense of discord or warfare spiritually if you're helping create peace on earth, like in the midst of times of war or like the little wars we go through in our daily life, whatever that is. But like any spiritual problem you think you have, it is clearly a direct reflection of something you are avoiding in the physical.
Yeah. It's
That's all I think.
no, I mean I'm in full agreement. And I hear like I said, my colleagues, I hear a lot of stuff that I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I have not experienced that. I keep an open mind. You say that this has happened to you. Okay. Like I have discernment. I have my critical brain. Like I'm also open minded enough to know that I don't know everything. But it's when, you take that and you start using that, you weaponize it, you use it, as a reason to behave the way you do. It's just like an addict being, well, I'm like this way because my mom was mean to me, my dad was mean to me, no one loved me. Like, no, you're responsible for you. Everyone at the end of the day is responsible for you. And if you drop the ball, and you will, take accountability, learn from the lesson, and move on. And that's, have some grace, be gracious, but and that's a time for humility. And I'm not a fan of that word either, but there are
No,
times for
but
humility, and that is a time, to have
mm-hmm,
humility.
mm-hmm.
So, guys, this is why we started the podcast. And it's just like, it'll be wild to see, especially the Supreme Court we have now.
I
They're
know.
nuts. Now something like this happens, say it makes mainstream, and then they're like, you know what? Christians, Christian, like one ruler under God. This is the, like, boom, you can't practice. You
Mhm.
can't, you just never, it's like that ripple effect. There's so many things that could happen from this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I just I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it what it's doing to this community. Things like this. I hate that because that is a serious ripple effect. That did not go into some echo chamber. It didn't. That found a lot
no,
of traction. That it probably empowered a lot of people and exposed them to a very false form of spirituality. So I can't imagine how many people are having completely opposite conversations from us right now. The people who have heard this and they're
everyone in
now
that
telling
comment
their
section is
friends about
having,
you
yeah,
wouldn't believe
everyone
what
is,
happened.
oh my God, that happened to me too. And the thing is, then you give these thoughts power that were never supposed to. You got rejected, you got your feelings hurt. I see all the time, your feelings aren't facts, and how people will take hurt feelings and create a story. And because of cognitive bias, now you truly believe it. And because you're talking with authority and
Mhm.
passion, then you get other people to believe it. And it's like, what in the actual fuck? What in the
Dude,
actual fuck?
seriously. Seriously. And I don't like this is really one of those times for me where it comes to that very weird space that's like in my mind it's a fine line, I guess, but it's not a blurred line. But I think a lot of people think that this is like some blurry line here of like victim blaming versus taking responsibility. Like it's people are very quick to call like someone out for like you're blaming the victim, like ew, like how dare you? And it's like you're not understanding the ways that like people aren't empowering themselves to take responsibility and what that can actually do to better a situation. I really mean that because okay, so I mean this other quote that I pulled up pretty
It's not
easily.
black and white. It's just not black. Like this is
No,
not. It's
it's not
like
black and white.
everyone's
And I'm
black
not,
and
but
white. It's not.
yeah, no. And especially in this situation, I'm sorry, like she was not sexually harassed. We have a very clear definition for what that would mean. She was not. I'm sorry.
I had
I,
friends who were like, I've had ghost sex. And then I was like, okay, did you eat? What does that mean? And they felt like something was they enjoyed it. And I was like,
yeah,
so
Kesha
respectfully,
said the same thing. Kesha, the
what,
singer.
what kind of drugs were you on? And they were like, oh, I ate a shit ton of edibles. And I was like,
Right,
right. So your
right.
genitals got tingly. You got real horny. You probably couldn't watch porn or masturbate. And so you had some air. I don't know. And
I
maybe a
don't,
ghost did have sex with you. Great.
yeah,
Cool. I don't know, but I
but
know that when I eat edibles or something, there's sensations.
yeah, to,
Come
yeah.
on.
I just, you cannot apply
I don't
this.
think a ghost is fucking me because I get horny because I eat edibles or mushrooms or something. Like,
Yeah.
when
And
when all y'all ravers back in the day, I loved ecstasy. You feel good on ecstasy, like,
yeah.
hello.
Yeah. And again, like, look, homie, I'll stretch my brain. I love to do it. Like, if let's say a, a ghost, anybody, let's say Finnegan did sexually harass her in the ethers, and she feels truly violated from it. I will not take away that experience from her. That would be valid if she really seriously somehow got sexually abused. Like, and that's the feeling she has.
Yeah.
All I will say is you have to understand that by your own admission, has happened in an energetic space and that it does always start with the physical. Like this, I know to be true. So, like, what in your physical world is exposing you to any level of psychic attack? What is that Achilles heel? Like, what is the weakness in yourself that you are not taking responsibility for? And I'm not saying that it makes it okay for or right for anybody to abuse you physically, obviously, or
Duh.
energetically. Duh, 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 duh. But we can all do things to better protect ourselves in our own best interest. If like I'm staying at my little brother's right now and they're like, he told me that like there are like package thieves at his apartment, which is kind of like a newer thing I think around here. And so like obviously you lock your door now. Like you don't let people inside. Like, I remember growing up and never locking
Mhm.
my door like at my family home, like growing up. Like that was the world we lived in. But like then if you're susceptible to crime or people stealing packages or whatever, you put safeguards in place. You take that responsibility on yourself because you kind of have to limit the weak spot of someone
When I was
messing
in
with your
Vegas and my
life.
hair extensions were getting sent here, I was like, please make sure, like, don't leave. Like as soon as the package arrives, it's expensive hair. Please get it on. Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
it,
Yeah, you
it's just,
and what you learn from
guys.
that, it is a personally empowering experience to take responsibility for yourself, to,
But
you
that's not
know,
cool anymore, man. It's not cool to,
no,
and then
no.
I'm like, am I getting older? But because I know that I would defer responsibility as a kid. I think that's just kind of
Well,
like, I'm like, well,
yeah.
maybe I'm as a millennial elder.
Yeah, and it would be nice, but look at what you're asking then, right? Deferring responsibility or saying like, um, well, they should know not to steal packages. Like,
Yeah.
true, true, but and obviously, yes, but that's on them and that is their responsibility. But look at what you're doing. You're willingly saying, I won't take responsibility for myself in any of these
Yeah.
situations, but I will tell that person they must take responsibility in
Yeah.
it. That's never going to be okay to tell someone to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. That you must take responsibility yourself.
All day.
You
I
know?
mean, all day. And the thing is too is that like say some I do, like you can do and say something. So even now I'm thinking this girl who said that I was that I was sending her bad vibes, right? From what I can tell, life is very rough for her. And I have great
Yeah.
compassion for that. But but if you think someone is harassing you in a certain manner, or or if you're not willing to take account, like people there's just always going to be accountability. You're going to have to deal with what you do. At the end of the day, you're always going to be, like you're going to be held accountable. I can tell you, I'd never sent that woman any sort of negative. I considered her a friend, and my feelings were kind of hurt, like when I found out that she thought that I was being mean to her, but I
Mhm.
didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. She thinks she thinks a lot of people have done this to her, and her life is not great because of it. And it's just like, there's we can go round and round
Well,
and round.
no, we can. And this like brings me to like, okay, the only other quote that I pulled up, it was literally the second one that I decided to pull up, and it's just like perfect here, I think. It's a like bear with me on like a couple big words in this quote, everybody. Um, it
You can do
says,
it.
no, but it's really interesting, and it's totally what we're saying here. It's saying the twisty nature of psychic attack, are you being attacked or did you bring this attack on yourself?
Ooh,
Speaks to me of an American cultural paradox we all grapple with. There's a rampant litigiousness of our society and the desire to blame others for our misfortunes. Litigiousness being literally law, which
yes.
is how this is playing out, by the way, this whole situation with Keisha and Finnegan, it's going legal now. There is this rampant litigiousness, right? And like I would even take litigiousness to not even just be law, it's the flex of power, right? A power over someone else. You want power. Like in Keisha's
And you
instance, to be honest, I think there's a clout thing. She wants to have power so that people respect her and book with her, right? Like I get it. Same with Finnegan though. He's mad because his power is perceived to be like going away at the moment because his name is being defamed. I again don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like him. If you want to book with him, I'd be fine with it because I do think he's like probably like knowledgeable of things in a way that I don't think Keisha is, to be honest. I think he'd be like someone that people could learn from. I just think he's going to be he would be someone that like you need to vibe with. I definitely do not vibe with him. There's not a damn thing that man can teach me. I'm sorry. Maybe how to like use concealer. I don't know.
I don't like
I
it. I mean, I don't know. It was just I go off, like what's my first impression? And then once I meet or see someone, I'm like, all right, like, and I'm always, if I have a bias on someone, I'm like, ew, I don't like that. I'm like, okay, well, why don't you like people who play tiny flutes? Like that's literally what
yeah.
I asked me. I was like, I just don't like it. Like I
And
don't
that's fine. It's not your brand of
exactly.
spirituality. And no, I don't think
I'm not a
either you or
kumbaya
I.
little flute player. I don't like
No.
little flutes.
And that space can exist. I think it's fine. Like I don't think either
Exactly.
you or I are trying to shape the spiritual community into any sort of look, right? Like I don't think that that's it what we're
No.
doing. I just think that we know more
I
of
saw
what
what I,
works for us.
well, and the thing is like with Reiki, it was like people were leaving me feeling great, but no one was changing the same. You
Yeah.
came in with the same problems, and I was like, I'm here to enact change. So now I got to get into the brain because y'all's mindsets is trash. So how can I incorporate Reiki
Hmm.
into this?
Hmm.
And that was just
Yeah.
my,
And
we're
all I would
not
say like
kumbaya people. We're manifestors. We're here to be
yeah.
abrasive. And if anything, I mean, honestly, that's our energetic field. Our auras slam up against yours and make you
Yeah.
confront things. So the thing is that so Mr. Man, who was saying like you're
Yeah.
beautifully having him confront his biases on
Yeah.
spirituality. You don't appear as fluff. Like how
No.
you
And
present
he knows
astrology
it.
is so cool, and
Yeah.
it's boom. This is what's
And
going
he's
on. This is how you can use it. So
yeah.
I was initially, because I'm just protective of you, but
No, I
I
love it.
appreciate how he was
No,
able to handle that.
yeah, yeah. And he's like, I'll just explain it offline, the rest of that for sure. But
Yeah.
like, no, it's true. And I'll even say, like, in the like you just have to make the change, and you and I know that. And it really is if you want energy to change or a life circumstance to change, like you need to make physical change. And like in the most mundane way I can explain astrologically, it is 95% of the time, easily, I don't know the exact percentage, but overwhelmingly, the clients that I hear from are the clients who have made physical action, even in the smallest of ways, in after my readings, where like they're not
coming back to me with the same. I have some clients who do come back to me with the very same problems, and I don't think they've changed anything, but it's the ones without fail who will mark down the dates in their calendar that I've given them. They will put a buzzword of some theme that I've brought up next to that date. They have this like physical, way of like channeling that energy, right? Like we're just talking energy in a birth chart, but they're cementing it in their physical reality somehow to make it so, And
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And those are the people I always hear feedback from, and they're always improving. It's the people who just like have this reading, and it's spiritually and energetically, I hope that you feel uplifted after. But if you're not gonna go implement that stuff into your life, then it's not gonna work. I just had yesterday somebody tell me about a reading that was in live stream from like August. Some random person on TikTok just messaged me, and literally yesterday and was like, "Oh my God, like you did this like reading for me on a TikTok live stream in August, and I screen recorded it and I just rewatched it. Like the accuracy is nuts, like how much that has played out in his life." And I'm like, that's also it,
That's
like
cool.
it,
Yeah.
he screenshot that, had it on his phone. Like there was some level of an intention of this will be mine. There's a reason people say claim it, like I hate that, but like there's a reason why, like that is you claiming the energy of like cementing it somehow. You can just be the little steps that you take, like writing it down in a date in a calendar, but the physical change is what needs to happen. It cannot be this like energy shift that you just expect someone else to make on your behalf or whatever. Like
No.
I don't know. The spiritual space is a
It'll be
it is
very
the
interesting
wild,
to
wild
see.
west, man. If I
It
hope we never
is.
get to a space where there's, I don't know, like if science ever proved, I guess, like 5D and like the astral realm super real. I'd be so
There's no
weird.
one regulate. I mean, and this is kind of where, I mean, no one can, how can you regulate this? It's just, you can't regulate spirituality.
No, and I
But you know
really
what?
hope we
But
never get there. I really
oh,
hope we never do.
110%. But the law and what you do can regulate you. Like
Yeah.
and you can be forced to pay ducats, money. You can't, I mean, like you can't use this as a vehicle to do whatever you want to. I mean, you can't.
No, you can't. I mean, the problem is you technically kind of can. And that, but that's where these issues will arise. Like when you start flexing a power that honestly doesn't really even exist, that's a problem. Like, I don't know. You
I
gotta
saw
be,
this I saw this quote and it was like, I'm beautiful and special just like everyone else. And in this
love it.
pick me era where everyone, you are beautiful and special, you are unique, your thumbprints, everything about you is different, but also you're just like everyone else.
Just like everyone
You're
else.
just like
Yeah.
everyone else. And so like, so yes, you are special and you're also not. And yes,
Yep.
you're amazing, but you're also not shit. And I think
Mhm.
that if you're able to know that and then capitalize on this, and it keeps you grounded. I don't like the word humble, or vulnerable, but it keeps you grounded. It keeps you sane. It keeps you like, I am the most magical motherfucker that ever lived in my reality, but I'm also just another white girl doing a weird thing, trying her best. And how many weird ass white girls are there on the internet? I'm trying not to cultural appropriate. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm fucking up. I'm making magic. I'm doing my best. And I'm going to keep trying. And I'm also going to take accountability when I drop the fucking ball. And the end.
Yeah, absolutely we will. Are you kidding? And so sorry if this triggered anybody.
I'm not. I'm good.
No, I'm
Good.
not sorry. I'm not
If
really
it did
sorry.
trigger you, good. Go take a look at what weird dumb things you're doing, and then take accountability for it.
Well, and again, by this point, I guess I would only be sorry if you happen to stumble upon our podcast and this is your first episode. But like otherwise, you know what you're getting yourself into, and that you've got every possibility of getting triggered if you're listening to us. And you're welcome. I'm
Yeah,
not sorry. You're
yeah.
welcome.
I'm not sorry. Like do better. I think this is an
Yeah,
invitation. What we can do is all of us can do better, be more
yeah,
mindful.
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Absolutely, homie.
Yeah.
With that, thank you everybody. Sorry that there have been more irregular postings of episodes lately. I guarantee you we are getting back on it. We've got like episodes in the bank. I got to get them edited and posted.
Everyone manifests that this podcast takes off so well that we can pay our friend Lauren to edit it and do it, so we can just, this can be our job, and then we can just
Yeah,
continue, because this is a passion project. Ryan really does so much work. But leave a review, please leave a review. That helps us so
it
much.
really
And
does.
Venmo Ryan $5, because like the amount of energy,
Or I
that
appreciate
he
that.
gives. Yeah.
Will accept. Thank you. Claim it. I claim it. I'm writing that down in my calendar for today. No, but or to be honest, like book up me and Megan. Like share this
Yeah.
podcast, share our services.
Yeah.
If we get more business, which is also one of these reasons I've been dealing with like my struggle with the spiritual space is because of how difficult it really is to make a living in this like space.
Yeah.
Like it's not the easiest. You have a little more resistance
Yeah.
in life, a little, it's just harder. So if you book us, if we have enough income that we can set aside, then we can pay an editor, like I'll accept your $5 Venmos. Thank you. It keeps me going. But like book us, spread the word about our services. Like I really mean it. Like it's like I never ask for this
I've
stuff.
not gotten booked. I mean, I know you have. I've never gotten booked off the podcast. No one has ever, like I have. I'm so grateful for all my people.
When I put out I put out that silly September, and I had like 2 people, I think.
Still, no one ever
did
used that
Silly
30%
September.
off. Not one person mentioned it. Not one person. Even the regulars.
I had 2 people hit me up, but I think
Yeah, not me. No one. Which is fine. Like I said, I'm happy that like we're talking. This is a passion project.
yeah.
But it is, and I'm glad you've gotten booked because you put in so much work. I joke that I'm the talent because I just come on here and flap my jaw, and that's all I got to do.
And on that one, I think that we did explicitly say though that Silly September was like a code for me. I think that there was some funny way of that came out where you were like, you'll do next month or something. I can't remember,
Okay.
but it did seem like it was like more of like a thing.
But I'm glad you're getting booked by it. But yeah, I mean, like we are entrepreneurs, we are self-employed, and we're so grateful. Like we get the coolest messages. Oh my God, like of you guys telling us stories, and it's I'm grateful for this. I'm appreciative for you because, like I said, this would not. So if there's been a delay because the boy's been hustling, son, he's been making magic on projects, and he's got to eat. So
and that said, also I'll try and throw it in the show notes, but like check out Bismos CEO, BIZMOS CEO.com. No, really, it's like a really dope new business that I've started. That's like a calendar. Speaking of calendars, that is astrological focus, and like but it's way more than that. We're turning it into this whole other thing, free workshops, all sorts of cool stuff that you're gonna get. Like, and it's 12 months of access, and it's honestly cheap. Like really, at full price, it's $89 for a whole year of access, including free workshops with me. Like it's nuts.
Damn, I didn't know about the workshops.
Dude, it's nuts. And
I was on the beta and it was awesome. I got access to the trial and I did really like it. So guys, it is worth it.
It's totally gonna be worth it. Like, and we like just like I think that there's so much to do with it. But I mean, that's the type of shit we're trying to like be out here creating and bringing this stuff to people in very real, tangible ways. We're not sitting here claiming bullshit in the ethers. Okay, we're actually doing things in the physical world, so that should be supported.
Follow us on Instagram, Wild Child Magic. Follow us on follow our clairvoyance page. Follow we got
all links below.
Yeah,
all links below. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, make smart choices. Make Mama Megan proud. And Daddy Ryan.
Zaddy Ryan. Zaddy Ryan. Anyway, okay, bye.
Bye.